Samir. Search for Uhuru. Make sure when you guys come into the chat room, you hit that like button, you share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have the brother Kala Genesis, also known as Kala Thanos, in the joining us tonight, this Thursday night. And tonight's topic is, and I've been saying this for the longest, Kala. Nationhood, for the most part, is the only cure for, I mean, I would say the after effects of slavery. Nationhood. Am I right, Kala? Or
you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Anything else is basically what I call Negro comfortism.
stalling?
You know,
Negro
Negro
who?
stalling. Now, you check this out. Even worse than the stalling Negro, right? Is the comfortable Negro. You know, don't underestimate the comfortable Negro in America, right? There were comfortable black people in America in 400 years. There were black people who got their little freedom, right? They was able to get a little parcel of land somewhere and everything, and they said nothing about the institution of slavery. Why? Because they didn't want to, in many cases, end up being a slave themselves. And so, therefore, their whole idea is to protect their position in America. In other words, basically, when America was founded, when America first started, right, the blacks that came over here mostly indentured servants, and then some were manumitted slaves, right? After a couple of generations, some people got their freedom. They wanted no part of the identity of bondage. So, in other words, what I'm saying is slavery wasn't solely based on race. In other words, if you were free black, you had nothing in common with somebody who was in bondage. It was all about you as an individual. So
Right.
you wanted to basically just protect yourself and protect your family, provide for your family. We had wealthy black families, even in the 1700s in America. You know, they were basically outside the slave system and everything. But the whole thing is, as more and more black people came here, and then they began to stop the slowdown of slaves coming to America, it was clear that slavery was based on race, right? And so, therefore, a free black person could no longer ignore the position. You were forced into this identity of being black, you know, and everything that comes along with it, whether you were free or not. You were basically can be called a nigger in the street. You can be beaten, assaulted, arrested, even enslaved yourself. That was the reality of being black in America. So that's what basically formed the whole. Let's start a social justice. Let's start a civil rights. Let's start whatever black equality movement in America. That we still have to this day. But the thing is, the people that's on top, right? The people that's on top of this social order, right? They have no intentions of ever being free with the large numbers of black people. It's not part of the deal. Their whole thing is to make black America just livable enough so they could justify them sitting up on high and saying, "Oh, look what all we've done. Look what the whole process of gradualism. You know, gradually you're going to one day become a human being. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know, like Roland Martin said, "Oh, we got to get ready for that year 2040."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. We will
that's
be the, what was it, when white people be the minority, and there'll be a
yeah. Oh,
sale on
that's a big date.
pork chop sandwiches. Pork chop sandwiches will go on sale.
That buys them time, so he could spend the next 20 years promoting his bullshit. Excuse my language, right? Because the bottom line is this: they know when the 2040 comes in, right? Black America will be down if we don't do things now, right? We don't try to build these bridges across seas and become an independent people and eventually nation, whatever. If we don't do these things, right, and build these bridges over to Africa and across seas and whatnot, with 2040, we are finished, right? The Latinos are coming in. They're not trying to join some kumbaya people of color movement. They're
Right.
only concerning about themselves. When every time I see AOC, she's always crying over some illegal alien broken up with her family. She's in tears. Remember that? She's in
Yeah.
tears. A family got separated from at the border. A family detention center. I don't know. I noticed. I have never seen anybody tear at the thought of what's his name, Tracy Martin, when he had to go get his son Trayvon Martin out of a morgue and he was handcuffed. You know, I don't see what's the guy Crutcher name? This guy Crutcher that got his brains blown out in the middle of the highway because he broke down on the highway by some evil racist state
You
trooper.
know what, Kala, I don't even think I saw any tears for after when what happened with Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof when he shot up everybody in the church.
Everybody was giving their speeches. Oh, we shall overcome. This is tragic. The same old stupid stuff they be giving. Like we're not even real human beings. That we
Uh-huh.
don't have a right to feel vengeance and anger and rage. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to tell people. This is serious right now. What we're going through in America is serious right now. And the people right now, people want to pacify black people. They want to calm us down. They want us to put us back into submission and everything like that, under this hope that gradually things will get better. If we can
Mhm.
just get Trump out of office, things will get
Right.
better.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Colin? Trump became the, I guess, the beginning of the alpha and the omega of racism.
Yeah. It all started with Trump.
Right.
Somebody online said the other day, all this racism started with Trump. Correct me if I'm wrong. Trayvon Martin happened in 2000, what, 2012?
Yeah, 2011, 2012, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Eric Gardner happened in 2014. Michael Brown and Ferguson. When did that happen? Alton Sterling, Philando Steel, and everything, where people are getting killed, shot and killed, and police walk away the same day. This guy,
Right.
that
Paid leave.
pay leave and everything. And not only that, GoFundMe. Every one of these people collected millions of dollars worth of
Okay,
GoFundMe.
so the guy that choked out Patalio, who choked out Eric Garner,
Right.
he's like almost $200,000 in his GoFundMe.
$200,000. Well, we're gonna help that guy. We're gonna help that guy.
So
White
so you're
people.
so you're better off if you're a police officer killing an unarmed black man.
Right, because you'll get the support of the white America.
Right.
You'll get the support of white America. White America won't let you go down. George Zimmerman collected millions of dollars, right? He wasn't even really all white. You know,
Darren Wilson got a million just
yeah,
for
he got a few million. And he
yeah.
disappeared off the scene.
Yeah.
He's talking about that. We're gonna arrest Darren Wilson ourselves.
Hey, we're gonna rise
Rise
up.
up.
We're gonna
We're gonna
rise
rise up
up.
from that.
Yeah.
But yet, there's like thousands of black people sitting in jail in Ferguson right now. Because of the activism and all that stuff that come out. And I don't see any of these so-called leaders raising money for defenses and everything like that. You're just on your own. You know.
Your boy D-Ray took all the money.
Yeah. Like I said, it goes without saying. Everybody basically is. Let me tell you something right now. Nobody's serious about when it comes to black people. Why? Because the only serious thing is the road to nationhood. That's the
Right.
only thing. They just say, "Call." You mean we all got no? It just means that if you don't support nationhood, at least you could stop being. Like I said, I'm having these trolls looking online now and YouTube, and I have these trolls making comments. I know they're directed at me. About, oh yeah, you got to get out of this African stuff and all kind of nonsense and everything.
Yeah.
So if you say take Africa and building nation and what we're doing on the continent off the table, well, what solution do you have? You don't have any solution because this is not going to go away. This is not going to go. Either you accept with your lot in America and just deal with it, or just shut the hell up. Tell black people you have no plan. This is just what it is. We're a bunch of fools. You know what I'm saying? They look at us. You got a woman that called a black man a gorilla right there on national television. Called him a gorilla right there on national television. He apologized. He has no choice. He had no choice but to say, "I accept your apology." Why? Because this Negro's thinking about his job. The society will come down hard on him for not accepting her apology. A white person apologizing for calling you an ape, but you didn't accept that apology. How dare you? So we're not allowed to be regular human beings. A human being, when you go to apologize to somebody, he has a right to say, "I accept it" or "I don't accept it."
Like Jamal Omar said, D-Ray cashed out with national book tour,
Yeah.
CNN. Bro,
Oh,
it's shit.
but don't tell some people that. Oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter.
Man, that whole black. I mean, but Colin, where did the money go?
Well, it's like this. All I know is the people like my brother Mahmoudin from Charleston, South Carolina, the one that jumped up on there and grabbed the Confederate flag down. Did you ever see that? He went flying across the street and and the Confederate guy tried to chase him. And the Confederate guys out there talking about Confederate pride. He went over there, jumped and grabbed the flag down, tore the flag down. Our brother, young brother Mahmoudin. He was the one that was killed in Louisiana. He was one of the original Black Lives Matter. A couple other people I used to talk to online and stuff like that. But people like that were real. But the whole thing is like I said last week on the show, the media chooses who's a black leader. It's not
Right.
going to be a matter of time, Dinus, before when this thing, when you, as your movement grows and everything, as BAL grows and all this stuff like that grows, and these other people that we're linked with on content, as it grows, they're going to pick and choose who is the search for Huru and who is the BAL. They're gonna pick it, right? They're gonna say, you know something, we got this movement, the BAO on the African continent, we got search for Huru, but we need to this. Then they're gonna elevate some clown that you and I never heard of, right? He's
Right.
gonna be on CNN or whatever. Oh, who's this guy? Yeah, I'm the original search for Huru. Check my name, whatnot. Dinosaur stole my shit, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And this is what happens. And we'll sit back powerless, right? Because we're only on the internet, right? And they still got the power of broadcast. 2019, black people have no power of the mass media, the broadcast. That's what the real authority is. Make no
At
mistake.
all.
You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
okay, let's break this down. Let's break down and unpackage what's happened in the last 10 years, Kala.
Yeah,
And first of all, guys, please hit that like button. We have 116 people watching. Please hit that like button. So BET and Ebony
yeah,
finished.
yeah, yeah.
BET's owned by Viacom now. Your boy, I guess some of the rest own if he's still.
Right.
And then Ebony is gone.
Everything's gone. And now you had the archives. Some of
Archives
them
gone.
are the archives. That's. I mean, that should have been in a museum.
You know, you
Treasure.
know,
We
you
should have
know, you
got
know what?
all the money together to raise the money to purchase those archives. That's Black America. I mean, Black America. Well, Ebony Magazine and when I wouldn't be here when they gave me a focus. I didn't grow up on Vibe and Source and all the garbage that they put out there. That stuff. I grew up on a black culture that was basically proud. John Johnson was a patriarch in Black America. And so the bottom the way Ebony Magazine shaped and gave the world what we are, what we could be. My generation, the Generation X, right? We
Mhm.
dropped the ball because these people gave us something to build on, right?
No, no,
And
I'm
because
gonna tell you, you dropped the ball. The post civil rights.
yeah, my generation, the post civil rights generation, my generation supposed to take on because I grew up with Malcolm X and everything. We were supposed and we were like that. Trust me, we had hip hop and everything in the late '80s and '90s. We were on fire. But we dropped the ball. We let these people come in to take over our music and culture and turn us into something that we weren't worth. They gave us NWA. They gave us all these other clowns and everything. You call NWA? Yeah, I call them a bunch of fucking clowns. They gave us all these people and they gave us the hood culture. They gave us all this stuff that basically was counterculture. Your enemy, your oppressor could do whatever they want. You are what they say you are. When you are a nation of your own, you have your own laws, you have your own media, you have your own culture. You decide who you are. You decide. You show the world who you are. Why do you think Black America is the only black culture that puts out negativity? We're the only group of people that put out music that talks about the death and the degradation. Look at Uganda with Bobby Wine. That young
Right.
brother that is about to be. He could be president of Uganda. He took his music, right? People love his music and everything, and he inspired the young people to rise up and ask for justice in this country. Do you have that? We have that in Black America? No.
No.
Anytime somebody that talks about anything conscious or really conscious, whatever, that's not a sellout and everything, we don't want anything to do with it. Why? Because we know we don't want to be put in an awkward position at the MTV Music Awards. When somebody's talking too deep, we cringe. We look around, see what the white people are saying.
Hey, Carl, let me ask this question real quick. Some Fitawari Fitness has a great question. He just asked a great question. How
Yeah.
did these black media and publishing houses go under when there are so many rich black people? Why didn't the black boule pick up the baton?
Because the whole thing is these people, like I said at the top of the show, nobody's serious about being this black. You're only black. Let me say this, and people are gonna get mad when I say it, but nobody gives a goddamn about being black. As soon as you get that token or that ticket to the white society and everything, all that black stuff goes out the door. That's why I do give Bill Cosby that much credit. You know what I'm saying? Because he did stick by Black America as far as black images and stuff like that all throughout his career. Everybody else wants to cross over and go to the mainstream. Oh, you're still talking that black stuff. Look at the Negro Leagues, right? People will say, "Oh, we got rid of we didn't need the Negro Leagues anymore." People don't understand the Negro Leagues created black millionaires. You know,
Mhm.
Black people were entrepreneurs and whatnot. Selling everything from hot dogs and everything. Black teens were booking, were doing advertising shoots and stuff like that, and there was black commerce. We had almost like a black country inside of America at one time, you know, because we were forced to segregation. Civil rights gave us an excuse not just to integrate, right? Okay, fine. You want to integrate, do it fine. But it gave people who don't like black institutions, black colleges, black churches, black anything, the ability to say it's all over with. It's time for us to be American. Let's dismantle black institutions. How do you dismantle black institutions? One, you break up the black family. You know, you tell the black man he's not needed in the house anymore. Once you start doing that, where like the black America has become completely weak. In fact, that's why these police shootings happen. No other group of people go through this with the police for the most part. It's all black people. Because why? Because we're weak. We're weak people. We don't have strong men leading the homes. We don't have strong men leading the community anymore. We don't have strong institutions anymore that basically that define who we are. We don't have any anymore. And the only way to get this back is, like I said, is a road to nationhood. Why? Because if we don't, you know, everything we have. You think you lost BET and everything? Wait till you lose all your so-called HBCUs. We're on here now. A good 20% of most HBCU student body are white. You know, and then in Morehouse now, because Morehouse is so broke, the LGBTQ comes in, and now you got once a pride of black malehood. Now these guys are wearing dresses and skirts and some of everything, and they got transgender and all this kind of nonsense and everything. Nobody takes Black America seriously. You know, we were always a threat. Our black manhood, our black maleness was always a threat. So that's why they got to bring all this stuff out. Yeah, Black America is in a serious decline right now. You know, and all the money you think money's gonna solve this? No, it's not. You know,
Shout out to Gregory White. Shout out to brother Gregory White, longtime supporter in the chat room.
yeah.
Brother came on the
He
tour.
came on with you.
Yeah, he came on a tour with us. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. With that being said, guys, tour number 2 is coming in November. Back to Nigeria. Please join us if you're interested in having more information. Send me email. Search for uhuru@gmail.com. So, Kala, is capitalism the solution?
Well, like your one guest was saying on your show, I forgot who it was. You know, he was saying that the Chinese found their own niche as far as you need capitalism. You
All
know,
right.
but the whole thing is this. You know, as far as like Americans are, it doesn't mean nothing. It's just like two bums on the street, arguing over the deficit. You know, and these guys are getting into a fist fight over spending in a deficit. They're on the homeless eating out of a soup kitchen, and they're fighting. Oh, we need to do this, but it doesn't apply to black people. You know what I'm saying? We're not in that thing right now. Now, if you talk about building overseas, building this, yes, you need investment, you need capital, but it can't be the capitalism as America has. Why? Because America's capitalism, well, not now, but a raw capitalism is that you just make money just to make money. That's all it is. But if you look at the Japanese response to capitalism was you can make money, but you're going to build and create what the government and society needs and what they tell you to create. Now that sort of capitalism I'm all for, you know, as a win-win situation. You know, somebody may say, well, I want to make this, I want to sell this, whatever like this. Well, if you have a government that says, well, we need you to do this because we're importing this and everything. And in America is not full of capitalism because America at any time, if they go to war, could take over factories in America. You know, in World War II, America took over GM's plants and Ford plants to make military gear. You
All right.
know, so capitalism says it's my investment. I could do whatever that I want to do, right? I could do whatever I want. I could shut the factory down. I could lay off work, but there's mechanisms in place to make sure that doesn't happen. So in other words, there's a controversy. You'll say, well, should Amazon pay, and these companies make trillions of dollars, pay no taxes? I don't think that's right. You know, because why? Because even though you're providing jobs and everything, the infrastructure, everything you have access to the courts, you have access to the legal system. All that there is provided for you to allow you to make these millions of dollars. So you have to pay your fair share of the taxes. It doesn't matter how many jobs you create, how much income tax you make. You have to basically pay your fair share. Now, that sort of capitalism I'm against. I'm against people who come to an area and say we're going to build a factory, right? And then they hire all temporary services, right? This is what's going on now. They hire all temporary services. Temporary services will outsource it to somebody in Mexico or Mexican, wherever, who they got books, and they bring in illegal aliens to work the thing and everything. The company, instead of hiring people for full time positions, paying them benefits and all the stuff like that that was traditionally America, they're gonna sit there and say we can get away with this for 5 years.
Kyle, let me read the super chat real quick. Major Payne says, heroin in the 70s, crack in the 80s, then gangster rap in the 90s. That helped destroy a lot of brothers and sisters.
Yeah, it wasn't just the drugs. It was a seller. This is the difference between us and people in America and other countries. Other people go through drug epidemics, but it's not the top on the top 40 songs over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's not,
right.
you know, and if you think that this is, show me anywhere in Africa or any pop stars that sing about drugs, murder, crime, and everything that goes out to the youth out there, impressionable youth who don't really have brain, who don't even really
Whoa, whoa,
develop.
whoa, 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 but hold on, Kyle. We're just telling our story. We're just telling.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
It's like a movie. It's like a so hold on. If I can't, I should be able to rap about slapping hoes, shooting, selling dope. I shot your mama in the face because you owed me some drug money because Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
okay, yeah.
Rambo and Terminator. It's just the same, Colin. It's just the same.
Hey, check this out. One day, my years of working club security, right? One day I'm gonna make
Right.
a memoir, right? I've seen rappers, some rappers you may know and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, folks. All the life that they say in the music and everything, 90% of it is bullshit. You know, they exaggerate. Like I said, what is the phrase, Diane? Exaggeration of what? Is the
Bastard child of
bastard child of
enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. Most rappers do not live the life. They don't have the connections you have. There's not some boys on the street. The streets is watching. And the boys, most of your dudes are broke. They're running from the law. The only people that benefit from this whole culture is the bail bondsmen and the lawyers. Because the bail bondsmen, they'll say, you see some broke. I was the man back in the days. I seen this one dude, right? I was sitting in a restaurant, right? Sitting there having lunch, right? And one dude was across me. I think I told the story, right? And he was just basically like about my age, right? About 50. Anyway, but he was the man back. He had some young chick that was with him. She was like in her 20s, whatever, like that. He was the man back. His boys were
Hey,
sitting.
what was he? What was he
He
calling
was
back then?
the man back in the days. But he was like, I was sitting there. I just came from an event. I had my suit and tie on when I'm looking presentable and everything like that. But he just kept saying, yeah, back in the day, see, I used to run, blah, blah, blah. And his boys sitting there like, yeah, you know that too. But I was that here, that nigga right there. I had to check him on this, blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting there like, like, minding my business, you know what I'm saying? But even his boys like sitting there like when he went to go to the bathroom, like, oh, this nigga shut up, Bottom line is this. So the bottom line is, I put it all together. He got some young chick that he has to impress, right? He was a man back in the days. I guess he got a street rep. She's out there. She probably got the credit. She got all the stuff in name. And I looked outside. She's the one with the car and everything like that. And like that. So bottom line is, let me tell you something, man. It's all bullshit.
Right.
It's all bullshit. They sell you dreams that they're living this life and everything. They're not. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen a guy, a rapper, famous rapper. He was on BET when he used to come to the club all the time, right? One night there was a shootout in the club and everybody's running for bulls. I jumped over the wall, right? Almost got grazed, right? I told the story. Him and his boy fell down on a piece of glass, right? He was all of a sudden, and he was acting like he was bleeding. He fell on glass. No bullets hit him, right? My homegirl Candace, she got hit in the leg and she was limp. Beautiful girl, she's on a limp, right? Tell me why the next week when he's up there talking about him and his boys about, yeah, I took a bullet for you and whatnot. I was like, you took a bullet, Negro. You was on the ground crying and whatnot, and bullets being sprayed, and you hurt your. I think you injured yourself when you scraped your knee on the ground. But he said, yeah, I got a bullet in my side and whatnot. And so the bottom line, and people up in the club just buying it. Yeah, man, Johnny, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying to myself, man, see, this is what it is, we're like the only group of people that like I said, we're a foolish people, and we basically like foolish, and the white man knows that. We like anything but other than just basically correcting what's going on in our community and see what we can do. But I really believe that it's just time for Black America to part ways with white America. There's nothing good going to come at you sitting and getting a seat at the so-called table. There's nothing going to get no president or anything is going to solve Black American problems because our problems are this severe. And they make sure that we stay the way we are. Why? Because organized, intelligent Black people is a threat. You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm lying, look at history. All the people that were lynched in history were successful Black businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a vagabond, a bum, or whatever, they didn't care about that, right? But if you was a Black man who had a farm and you were doing things, you were educating people or not, you were the one targeted for them to be lynched. One of the wealthiest men in I forgot what. There's several of them lynched in the South because whites were jealous of him and took his land. But this is what we have in Black America. But nobody wants to own up to that. The thugs and the criminals are not our heroes. They were cowards. They always sold us out.
Real quick, guys, make sure you hit that like button. The next trip is in November. Well, actually, I'm going to Senegal in October, but the next tour will be in November in Nigeria. We have 175 people watching. Please hit that like button, you guys. If you're not super chatting, hit the like button.
You can't
Thank you. Go ahead.
hit the like button.
Go ahead.
So therefore, like I said, the whole orchestration of America is how to keep what do we do about Black people? And they're skillful every year, every presidential. What do we do about these people? And the white man seems to always win, And then we always look back, right, and say, man, see, we should have did this and whatnot. I'm not one of those we should have did that. I'm telling you what we should do now. But some of you Negroes refuse to listen. Refuse to listen. I just think it's just time for one. Black people should have a own political party. Political party. Well, what about? Don't even worry about who's getting.
Man, but Colin, we can't do it, man, because see, if we don't vote Democrat, Donald Trump's gonna win again.
Who cares?
And you voting for the Black political party is putting Trump back in office. So
yeah, I've heard that.
So you really voted for Trump.
Yeah. Okay. If you talk about third party, now they got pitting us involved. You talk about third party, you're a secret person working for Trump. So what that tells me is that okay, we're in a political quagmire. Okay, politics don't work in America. I'm through with it. Okay, if you tell me that the only thing I could do is vote for Democrats who don't have anything on the table as far as a Black agenda and everything, and between that and voting for Donald Trump, which basically emboldens the far right in this country and everything. If that's all I have to choose for, then maybe it's time for any other group of people when they reach this impasse, right? It's time to basically look at the future. Why? We don't do that because Black people, we don't think about the future generations. All we think of what we used to. I do believe that people like John Johnson really want to leave a legacy with
He did.
I really do believe that.
Have you read his book?
I got to get that book. I read.
You got to read it. You got to read his book.
I know
that's
story,
why, I think that's why it hits so hard with his with Ebony going bankrupt. You got to read his book.
Yeah, and so like I said, it was
basically he started Ebony magazine. He started Ebony magazine using his mom's furniture as collateral to get a bank loan.
Right, and then not only that, they put it in stores, right? And they said if they sell out, the stores say they'll order more, and it did, right? And they got their second order. That's when you know you got it. When you get that second order. So, people are buying this, Black people are buying it. They want to see positive images of themselves, and it caught on like wildfire. Who would have thought? At a time when most Black people saw themselves through the eyes of Step and Fetch It, all the racist cartoons and everything in America, you had this magazine that was basically saying, Black people, Black life in America, we're beautiful. We don't have a whole lot, but we can live among ourselves, and that's what it is. We don't have that anymore. Now it's all about it's about the individual, who I could take from, who I could kill, who I could murder, who I could humiliate, who I could have beef with, and all this kind of nonsense, everything. And that's what we have right now in Black America. There's no Ebony magazine telling us we're together, we're a community, and we don't even want to live around each other anymore. So that's what you have. So, like I said, when I say nationhood, what I mean is us declaring ourselves a nation. That means basically you have to go back to, and it's controversial, go back to the idea that we are a minority group in America. That's what sustained us for all these years. Every time I hear a black commentator right there, something goes through. I don't know if I'm alone on this, right? But every time I watch CNN, MSNBC, or Fox, and I see a black person talk about, well, we the American public. Whoa, when did we become we the American public? You know, we Americans and everything. When did we become Americans? I did this. I mean, we say Americans, everything like that. But when people say we're Americans, like white people are, oh, I'm shocked that this happens in this country. America doesn't stand for this and everything like that. America is a good country and all kinds of stuff like that. When did this ever happen? America was just, let me tell you something. From post World War II until now, America, as far as black America was concerned, was on trial. We said we're going to give you a shot. You know, we said we're going to give you a shot. And then the white people were like, well, geez, well, we got this black community in America. They think about decades. They got their own Negro leagues. They got their own business. They got their green book, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're living in their own areas and everything like that. They're having success. How do we tell people that this is a white country and attract European immigrants when we got this black people living here doing well somewhat, but they don't need us. They don't really need us. Who is their allegiance to? What if they turn against us? And then the other thing is, okay, well, we'll integrate them into America. Well, the Kerner Commission decided that was impossible because of white racial prejudice. So you had this group of people in America, right, who can't be assimilated. Unlike other people, the Jews, Italians, and everything, is because of race, because of genetics. Assimilation in America means race mixing, means interracial marriage, means all those things. So therefore, Black America is in a quagmire. You can't assimilate into America. Let me say it right now. The Latinos that you talk about, your people of color, the Arabs and everything, eventually, in a generation, they're going to become white Americans too. They're going to assimilate into a white American culture. The Latinos have this idea that they are going to basically become like another partnership with white America, like a tan olive, somewhere between Italian and Greek and some Persian, whatever like that. But the bottom line is this: they're going to be part of that light skinned culture that's going to change America. From whatever. The whole
Shout,
thing is
shout out. Let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out to brother Gregory White for the super chat. No righteous person will consider voting for the lesser of two evils. Evil is evil, and only evil people vote for evil. You must have a tangible stake in the process, or you're being foolish when you participate in a system which ignores your agenda.
Agree 100%. I agree 100%. Like I said, the people that's running the Democratic Party, right? Like I said before, I didn't see anybody crying over Eric Gardner. I didn't
No.
see anybody crying over Trayvon Martin. I didn't see nobody no tears, whatever like that. But when it comes down to illegal aliens at the border, who don't belong here, they're coming here illegally. There's all these tears, and America is about to lose its sovereignty. Why? Because simply they see these people as human. Now, Diners, what would happen if there was thousands of Congolese or Nigerians at the U.S. border? What would happen?
Oh, what's going on right now? Their ass is stuck at the U.S. border.
Well, they're stuck in Mexico.
It's Tijuana.
Takes out Mexico won't even let them through.
Right.
That's bad when you get stopped by Mexico. They're like, no, black man, oh no, Negro, oh no, Negro, you can't go there.
No negro, no negro.
No Negros, no Negros, no Negros, no Negros. Oh, you can't go there. That's what you have right now in America. A lot of people don't freaking see this. You are basically you cannot assimilate into America. So what do we do? Now individually, we're all individuals. Okay, we'll individuals will survive. But when we start talking about collectively, right? Why are we talking about building bridges that we're talking about? Why are we talking about long term? Why are we talking about investments overseas? Why are we not talking about things beyond America? Because the bottom line is this: we're never going to assimilate into American society. You cannot assimilate if you're not going to talk about interracial marriage. And the worst nightmare of America is black men marrying white women. It's not even so much as black women.
I don't know. I think the biggest nightmare now is just black men marrying black women.
Well, that too. They don't like that. They don't like too. But you're right, because they know for a fact of the matter is marrying white women is far fetched. It's not going to happen. No matter how much propaganda they push on that, white women aren't marrying black men, in large numbers. Same thing with black women. But yeah, but the whole thing is scare a black family, a stable black family, where black men and black women get along, right? The image of that is not there. We don't see it on television anymore. We don't see it in movies for the most part. Most women are always portrayed as some ambitious woman who doesn't need a man and all kind of nonsense and everything. And she's doing, and they got the black woman, she's doing her own thing, whatnot, whatever it is, whatever that is. I don't understand. I don't know what it's like to be a black woman. I don't know what a black woman wants, but it surely ain't raising a family. It sure is not being in a patriarchal black household. That's not the case. But so that's where we're at right now. So how do you build a nation if you're not going to try to build the man, woman, and child back up again, like we once was? You think about black people, what we was able to do after slavery.
Mm-hmm.
After slavery, we had so much land, we had built townships and everything like that. And black America in like the 1920s were on their way. What the hell happened? What the hell happened in black America? Oh, the next stage for all this was once we became civilized, educated, everything. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? The idea of most black America, black people want to leave. We want the exodus. That's why we joined the Garvey movement. But then after World War II, right? They said, okay, what will happen if this Garvey stuff starts popping up again, right?
Right.
What do we do? And then so therefore, right? They came up with the idea of integration, right? They came up with the idea of integration. They knew that was going to be a hard sell to white America, right? How to integrate black people into America. But it gave black people this sort of hope was the only future you really have is to move into a white neighborhood, send your kids to a white school, and all this kind of nonsense. Like, not give money to black schools to build them up and everything like that. But the whole idea of seeing a black boy and a white boy and all these kids playing together, that was the future. We bought into that.
Right.
We bought into the whole idea of integration and all stuff like that. Now, people say, well, doesn't it make America better? I'm sure it did. I'm sure America's a better place for it, but look at black America. That began the process of people leaving the black community. Black kids don't have role models anymore, right? You don't have role models. You don't see your neighbor. I remember when I was a kid in South Jamaica, Queens, my neighbor had the neighbor was nothing but, all the houses in there were nothing but black patriarchal families. One man was worked in sanitation. My uncle worked in sanitation. My grandfather worked for Con Edison, right? Guy across the street was a black man, was a dentist. Guy on the corner, right? Guy on the corner was a 4-star general in Washington. Never forget them, right? Each Christmas, and I told the story before, their house was so lit up, right? The bushes around everything, manicured and everything. He had like 3 sons in the military and everything. So I grew up seeing positive images of black people, strong black people, everything. Of course, you always had the pimp, the thug, whatever like that, right? But the main event was Black America, the real function of Black America. That was the main event. But what's shown to Black America or Black America right now is, the crime, the thug, and all this kind of nonsense and everything. And then people say, well, you were saying earlier, I'm just showing my life. I'm just showing no, you just showing what what's going to sell in the suburbs. Nobody wants to hear about the positive stuff that goes on in Black America and everything. That doesn't sell.
Right. That don't sound right.
That won't get you a Grammy.
Won't get you a Grammy. Hey, shit, it won't get you a Essence Award.
Yeah, it won't get you that everywhere. You have to sound negative, as pitiful, and everything. You got to basically besmirch your community and be as foul and nasty as possible to sell in America. That's the way it is, because nobody wants to see a positive, wholesome, black life in America. You can't even imagine it. What sells is black misery. Black misery sells. So now, if you're going to sit here and say, okay, white people, every time there's a preacher, oh yeah, we're sorry about that, and we're going to invite you on to have a conversation about race and everything, and we'll invite Al Sharpton over and Roland Martin. We're going to have this conversation on race and all this kind of nonsense and everything, and they'll get ratings and all that. You go back and forth. Then you'll be commenting on your YouTube channel talking about, but what should have been said was this, blah 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 blah. That's what your life is for the next 100 years in America. White people have already
Shout
decided.
out to real quick. Shout out to Gregory Wyatt for the super chat. Africa is the only continent on this planet where a black person is actually welcome. Unless you visited the continent more than once, your assessment is baseless. Get him, Gregory. Get him, Greg. Shout out to Greg Wyatt,
Yeah.
everybody.
So the whole thing is, my whole point is this: we in Black America basically have to have this conversation. You know, how do we take forward? It's clear now that with the advent of this Jay-Z situation, right? That these people are coming for.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, Kyla. Hold on. Jay-Z. All right, because we need a seat at the table. Okay. Jay-Z, all right, has a seat at the table.
And this is and that is a sad part about all this. And I've been saying this for a long time that these rappers and all these people out here do not get it, and it's basically came up and it's been exposed. Right, I've been saying for years. When people call me a hater, when black people, the real black people, right? We always wanted our own shit. Black owned means that black owned doesn't mean us having a piece of somebody sitting at somebody's table groveling over crumbs. You know,
Mhm.
sitting at a piece of the table, what is that going to do for the masses of black people? Should we forget about all the stuff that the billions and billions of dollars NFL makes in, what they cannot do without the black players? No, they
Right.
can't do that, right? So the bottom line is this: the NFL players feel that the black bodies that make them that money is still theirs. So you tell me what's the difference so much? Not all, because I'm not going to compare NFL players to slaves, but when you really look at it, that's what you're really, in many ways, you're dealing with. These guys, the players are commodities. They can't make billions of dollars unless those players are on the field, right? They can't on the field. So the players say we're not going to play anymore. They're going to lose billions of dollars. And all that, when they have advertisement and stuff like that promotes all the stuff on television for ratings and everything, or when they give the interviews to these sportscasters, that's another big thing people don't talk about. The interviews, all the interviews and all stuff like that. That basically is another wave of money and everything. We don't have any control over that. We don't have any control over that, and that's why they was mad at Don King back in the days. And I don't. Notice how no one ever talks about Don King. Don King was basically took over boxing. You
Yeah, but
know,
he was but he was screwing over his
Oh, I
boxers.
know,
Like,
but that's the whole thing. See, we can
hey,
have that
listen, I never, you know
conversation.
what, Kyla, I never knew that Mike Tyson knocked Don King out in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel because Don King owed him like $1 million.
I don't know. I knocked them out. I know they got to a fist a scuffle. I don't know about that.
Okay,
They said
okay.
he threw water on him.
If fists were thrown, I'm pretty sure Mike Tyson knocked
Oh
him
yeah,
out.
I thought it was just like he threw a bucket of water on Don King.
Nah, nah. They say Mike Tyson. Like, in fact, people, you got to watch the Mike Tyson. It's like he has a documentary on Netflix. It's
Oh, I
actually,
saw that. I saw that documentary. I saw
yeah.
that.
He said he knocked him. I mean,
Well, I
he,
missed that. I must have missed that part. I must have
yeah.
missed that part. Now,
Beverly Hills
my
Hotel.
point about Mike Tyson, well, Don King was this. If people don't agree with me when I say this and everything, and I'm just like, you know, the media kept attacking Don King as I mean, and then they would get these.
I don't respect. I mean, Don King.
But this is the way I look at it, right? Look, that's the way I look at it, right? You know, if it wasn't for if not Don King, somebody is going to be over there doing fight promoting, and somebody where Don King got the first. He introduced pay per view
Mhm.
for fightings. You know what I'm saying? He introduced that. And he basically introduced pay per view to the People's Republic of China. Where people was like the largest viewership in history. Pay per view. And so, therefore, the reason why you got UFC and all that right now is because of Don King. You know, now people may say, "Well, he screwed over boxers, and everything." Remember something. A lot of boxers, Mike Tyson had to admit. Look, Mike Tyson said it himself, right? He said, "Well, why is Floyd?" People say, "Why is Floyd Mayweather worth $1 billion?" And I went broke. Tyson said, "I was trained how to be a killer. I was never trained how to be a businessman." So we
Oh
cannot.
wow, wow,
You
wow.
didn't hear Tyson said that, And so I've always said that for years. Tyson was not a business. People robbing him left and right. He was,
Don King, one of them.
well, there were a lot of people, whatnot, but the whole thing is,
But I think Robin Givens and his mom, they really did a number
there
on
was
him.
a whole lot of people. Tyson had homes that he didn't know about, the stuff in his name and everything, and stuff like that. Tyson was like blew like $200 million, But the point of the matter is this: these young guys like Floyd Mayweather knew about money and stuff like that. That's why you have to give people like them up credit. I got to give Jay Z props for that. I got to give P Diddy props and all these other people props. Why? Because they knew how to make money and keep money in their pocket. They weren't getting screwed over like past entertainers and all these other people that were getting screwed over by white contractors or whoever, like promoters, whatever, in entertainment industry. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. You know. So like I said, I'm not going to fault Don King for Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson didn't know anything about business. Floyd Mayweather knows about business, right? That's why he's worth $1 billion. And he said,
Right.
look, look, these young Floyd Mayweather is a businessman. He goes, I was trained to be a killer. I didn't know about anything about business. I didn't know anything about investment and stuff like that. I let other people handle everything for me. You know. So like I said, so that's why I said, in retrospect, right? Retrospect, I look at Don King and people say, well, Colin, you just like Don King, black. No, if it wasn't for Don King, there would never been that Rumble in the Jungle fight. Remember Ali and Foreman? You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
right? It was Don King that promoted that, And
Right.
the whole time when I was growing up, right, and I was like this, I used to go, oh, Don King. Then I said to myself, wait a minute here. You got white guys who've been robbing black players, fighters,
Let me. The Chief Drowner makes a good point. Why is nobody addressing the obvious mental illness amongst blacks?
because nobody basically thinks it's mental illness. We think it's normal
You
for.
think it's normal? There you go.
Look, let me give you an example. Like I said, I'm not trying to be funny, right? Uh, you before when somebody's crazy, you said you were crazy, but we have basically become where if you're crazy, right? Once people are crazy, one thing they want to do is they want to rap. You know, they want to rap. They start rapping, making music and everything. Somebody records that and puts that on Instagram or Facebook, whatever like that. He gets 1 million views, right? He acts stupid, or all this acting out behavior. Let me tell you something, folks. I know it may be disheartening, but world star hip hop and all the stuff you see online is not the majority of black people in America. The majority of black people do not put their nonsense or stuff like that they do
World star.
online. It's not normal behavior, right? It's not normal. No matter how much you think, it's not normal behavior. When people put stuff online and everything like that, people basically, if you don't get in the comment section and say, like I always say, deadly clowns on Facebook and everything, I let people know that that's not normal, right? If I didn't say nothing and don't do that, right? It's telling people that when you see people acting normal, if you don't call them out or correct it and everything like that, you're accepting that behavior. And what happens is they keep doing it over and over again. People think it's normal to the point where you have a culture that's unmanageable. You can't act like that. Act the way we act in these videos. You see the video where the girls were twerking at a grave. You know, you see the girls with these big heifers were
I,
twerking on a grave, a tombstone.
I've seen a couple of them twerking women,
And then
girls.
you have a young brother who was basically saying at a cemetery, saying, "Look at this dead motherfucker! Look at this dead motherfucker right here! Fuck you!" In a fucking in a graveyard, this is what's going on, right? But I want to tell people this is not. I mean, people get depressed when they see this stuff. People, these are a very small percentage of black people. You know, like the woman that started twerking at her son's graduation. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then people were trying to defend
Whoa,
that.
whoa,
Well,
whoa, whoa! Hold on, Colin. Now, I was watching a video when South Africans
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
when they crossed the stage and they did their tribal dance. So why can't they do the tribal dance, but we can't
Oh,
twerk at the graduation, Colin? Why can't we twerk at the graduations, but they can do
you
the
got
tribal dance? What's the
you got
difference between Colin? What's the difference between twerking and tribal dance? What's the difference,
yeah.
man?
The bottom line, when people do that, they always try to throw Africa under the bus and whatnot. What they did in Africa and whatnot. Saying bottom line is this: it's not appropriate for a grown behind lady to be at a child's graduation, showing her big ass off and whatnot, twerking and whatnot. That's not right. Don't try to put that on Africa and whatnot. Yeah, people do dances and traditional dances and everything like that. There's a time and place for that, you know.
It's just the thing. So twerking now is the traditional dance now for the Black American community.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, there's no. Let me tell you something. There's nothing going on in Black America. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. But every time I look around, and also you see now, there's like so many different TV shows coming out, reality shows coming out. Same old garbage, same old nonsense and everything. And so, like I said, the powers that be have just said, this is what we're gonna, this is what Black America gonna be, and you can't fight back. You know why even get mad anymore? Should we even done this? Should we even show up to police protests or carry more because nothing happens? You have no ability to fight back. You're weak. You're weakened people. They don't do this to Mexicans. They don't do this to Arabs. Remember the guy that the Arab tried to blow up a pressure cooker in New Jersey a couple years ago?
Yeah,
They shot at police. They took him alive.
right.
So what does that say? They say, and you saw the other day in Virginia where guys running around naked, killed 3 people running around naked and everything like
Yeah, I
that.
saw that. But you know what's crazy, Colin? Like 3-4 years ago, same situation here in Atlanta. There was this light skinned black guy who he didn't even kill anybody. He was just mentally ill.
Right,
And was
right.
doing the same thing, and they killed him.
They gunned him down. Why? Because your life means nothing. Your life means nothing. So in other words, basically, it tells the police, right? A simple argument with an officer tells you, okay, you can't park there. A simple altercation means that you can get killed, you can lose your life. Now you say, well, okay, that's what life and death is and everything. But why would you live in a society, want to pledge your allegiance or give your future generations over to a society that doesn't care about your life? You know, I think we've done everything we could in America to be loyal to this country and assimilate and all stuff like that. And still, people can get off the boat, right, and don't have any allegiance to this country. Can you imagine if the squad of Congress was made up of 4 dark-skinned African American females? What would happen? You know, you think they would be on CNN? Well, they would have ran out of Congress. Remember Cynthia McKinney?
Yeah.
You know, that's what you have. But because they are somewhat close to the Caucasian, whatever like that, light or whatever like that, they get away with it. So what it tells you is that under no circumstances are they going to tolerate any radicalization of Black America.
And guys, let me say this. Let me put this on record. I do enjoy twerking, but there's a time and place for
The
the
time
twerking.
place for everything.
Time and place for everything. But I do enjoy the twerking. But there's a time. I mean, this is the thing with this is crazy, Colin, with social. I'm just thinking about just seeing these moms with adolescent, junior high, high school kids just acting an ass on social media. And I'm like, hold on. I could only imagine how embarrassed I would be when I was in junior high or high school or elementary school and my mom was acting an ass and twerking on social media.
I got a better story.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when I was like around, I think I was like 8 years old. My grandmother was like 46, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think you know where I'll go with it, right? My grandma, I love her. You know what I'm saying? Church going woman, blah blah blah. You know this, that, you know thing, right? I'm thinking 46. Okay, right? That's like the 70s, right? It was the 70s. Now 46. Now you got women like 50, like that girl Nika that did the sex video, or whatever, like that.
Nika.
Oh, one of the reality chicks, whatever, Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know. I forgot her name.
Damn near all the reality chicks got sex videos. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm saying to myself, these women are 48, 49, 50, you know?
Doing sex.
Yeah,
Videos.
and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute.
I know you're talking about. You're talking about. I know you're talking about. I know you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I know you're
And
talking
so
about.
I'm saying to myself, these women are that age. My grandmother, I was 8 years old, she was my grandma. Bring me toys for Christmas and everything. You know, a holy woman, going to church with her stuff on and whatnot. I mean, pillar. Now the women her age, right, in these days and times, are making sex videos. You know, and so and I'm saying to myself, people say, "Well, Kyle, why are you talking about?" The bottom line is, you are not going to build any sort of culture until you get this nonsense, this garbage out of the way. People are like, well, everything's good. Look, you know what's more fun than all this foolishness and nonsense that you chase? The idea of nationhood. The idea
Right.
that one day you can have a land and your own. Connecting with Africa, building on the continent, what Dynas does, and I'm going to be doing soon, and everything. Building on the continent and doing all this stuff like that, and connecting and planning for the future, being involved with African geopolitics, and all the stuff like that. That basically gives you a hope and a future and everything. When you go down the road of foolishness and nonsense and everything, because you might make do a certain amount of views, or you might get picked up by some record label and all this kind of nonsense and everything, and all this stuff, that you are going down the path of destruction. You know, and the bottom line I got to say is because the whole thing is this: if we can't do anything else, my generation, Generation X people, or not, at least not fuck it up for the next generation. You know,
it's already
but
fucked up.
I feel so bad because I saw a video where Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg are back in the hood talking about keeping it real and all those kinds of men in their 50s and whatnot, still talking about hood shit,
Yeah.
while you got $200 million a piece in the bank, you're going
You
sitting
know
around.
what's crazy? Kyle, you just said something. I remember it's just little things like that, but it's like once you get a certain age, I thought there was like a certain dress code.
There's
Those 50s sagging, you know. I'm not saying you got to wear Steve Harvey suits every day, but it's like, goddamn.
it's like the bottom line is this, and what it is nobody wants to grow up and be a man. Nobody wants to separate themselves. There's an old saying is that when I was a boy, I did childish things. When I became a man, I became a man. In other words, basically, nobody wants to grow up and be a man. You got men in their 40s and 50s with their pants hanging out off their ass and whatnot, no job, no anything, just in and out of jail, and basically preaching that freaking nonsense to the thing. I seen this video where these guys were on a street corner and the cop told them to move, right? And the guy's out there arguing with the cop, and the cop said, "Look, I gave you a lawful command to move." Well, next thing you know, that was all she wrote.
Gotta move. This is my sidewalk.
Next thing you know, that was it. You know, and the rest of them, guess what? They moved. You know, they call you said punked out. Look, the bottom line is this: it looked like about 3 o'clock in the morning. Why the hell are you on the street 3 o'clock in the morning? You know, you don't have anything better to do with your time and your life and everything like that. Do you need to be in a club every night and everything? Do you need to be running the street, running around, acting a fool and everything? Why do you put yourself in these situations? And other people, they look at us like, well, geez, after you have a nerve, and this is your so-called ADOS base, Dinah. This is
Right.
the ADOS base, You know, Africans come over here one night, and Haitians, I know them for a long time. You know where they're at? 4 o'clock in the morning, they're in bed, getting ready to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work, right?
Right.
Then when they get off work, they're gonna go work a second job. You know what I'm saying? They're sending money home to their families and everything like that. And they go and then they're taking the time to get their college education, their skills, everything they need and everything. They're in the library, a free public library that's available to you in your city that they take advantage of and everything. They have all these resources that they hunt down and use. In a few years and whatnot, next thing you know, they got their degree and everything. And you're talking about how they're coming over here taking shit
Hey,
from you.
hey, Colin, somebody in the chat room said Jesse Smollett was out with two Nigerians at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, you win some, you lose some. But the whole, but my point, my point is this. My point is this. We as black, this is what's shown to us as normal. You don't see normal stuff shown to Black America anymore. Why?
Mhm.
Because we have basically resigned to the fact that this is what we are. We're just a bunch of clowns, we're a bunch of buffoons, we're a bunch of entertainers, and all this kind of nonsense. And the bottom line is that's the way it's going to be forever. You know. And those of us who basically say we want more, we believe in education, we believe in hard work, we believe in families, we believe in all stuff like that. We're pushed to the side. And so what do? We let these people rule Black America. We push back. And I think it's time to just start pushing back. And like I said, the biggest pushback, like I said, was this backlash with Jay-Z. I think it has more ramifications than a lot of people believe. You know, and I've been talking to people, and I'm saying, well, what do you think about that? They're saying, well, something, I don't remember anybody giving Jay-Z permission to speak on behalf of Black America. Where did that come from? Oh, it came from the fact that they figured out a long time ago that rappers have a lot of influence on Black people. All you do is get a rapper on there, talk about this, talk about that. You got the Black America. But there's something. I think there's something deep going on in Black America. We're starting to gender reflect. And the only thing they really have to keep us in line is the threat of a second Trump presidency. You know, They
Hmm.
say, oh, if you don't go along with this nonsense, all the stuff we talk about and everything, you don't go along with the bullshit, Donald Trump's going to get reelected. I think, to be honest with you, right, I don't know. To me, if you roll over and become a slave, right, they're already telling you nothing's ever going to change, right? You ain't going to get no goddamn reparations. That's not going to happen, right? We're not going to do anything to help your communities and everything like that. You're not getting anything from the political process. But you better vote for us, right?
Right.
Or police brutality is going to get worse. Donald Trump's going to get reelected and everything. So tell me, what is the alternative to this peril and quagmire? Black people becoming nationalists.
Hmm.
If black people become nationalists, then that basically puts the power back in our hands. That's the only way we're going to go.
Oh, I want to say so. You know what's crazy, Carla? So the same Negroes. Oh, Dr. Sabi got killed. I mean, Nipsey Hussle was killed because of the Dr. Sabi documentary, the veganism, because veganism would cure the AIDS.
Oh,
Hey,
dynasty.
listen, but Carla, listen. Last week was out eating Popeye chicken sandwiches in line for the Popeyes.
Well, I'll give
What
him. I'll
what
give him.
what happened to the Sebi diet? What happened?
Oh,
What
that went
happened?
out the door. That went out the. Oh, I'll tell you something, right? Now I had a little fun on Facebook, right? Right, and one chick that I'm cool with on Facebook, she clapped back at me, right? This girl has a vegan restaurant, right, in California, with vegan ribs.
Hey, Colin, I've had vegan ribs before too.
Well, let me ask you a question. What is the purpose of having a vegan? If you're gonna have a rib, just have a rib. You know, it's like a vegan hamburger. I don't get it. Vegan fish. I don't get it. Why not just go there and get a real fish?
It's pretty good. I
Well,
mean,
what's
because
the point?
I mean, because people just have a taste for that stuff, but they can't eat
Well,
the meat,
but
so
why is it that
they got to
people
make
will come at
the
me
imitation.
and be like, come at me like, well, vegan is. It's not to me. It's like everything else. It has nothing to do with them caring about who what you
Like
eat.
somebody said, the Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty good. It's pretty good though. I mean, I'm
Oh
not a
yeah,
vegan
it's
or
possible.
vegetarian, but
Al
it's
Gore.
good.
It's beef, but it's not beef.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
the
I
purpose.
mean, uh huh.
That's the purpose. Yeah, it's beef, but it's not beef. That's the
It's beef
purpose.
without beef. And so the whole thing is, people want to control you, right? People, okay, let's say that they're right, right? They're saying we should eat vegan, blah blah blah, but this and the other thing. But the moment you start talking about what you're talking about and what I talk about and everything, no, you can't tell people what to do. No, you can't talk like that. That's out of the bounds. Well, so in other words, you can tell me not to eat beef, chicken, this and the other thing, but I can't talk about nationhood. Who sets them out? I can't say, something. If you want to, people want to do their feminist LGBT, that's fine, do a thing. I don't agree with that, whatever like that. I can't say no. I don't want to be a part of that, and I don't agree with that. It goes against what I believe and everything like that. But I can't do that. That's the whole thing. If you say you don't agree with something, I don't know if I have no problem with somebody being vegan, whatever you want to do. But when you get to the point where you start telling everybody else you can't have a hamburger or you can't do this, whatever like that, and the same people will tell you, or you can't tell somebody they can't be LGBT. You can't tell, but you can tell me I can't have a hamburger. You know, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So,
but Colin, what we'll do, man, we'll
are
go
we
ahead and
gonna take some calls? We want to call in?
nah, not tonight, not tonight.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and close out. Colin, anything you like to say in
Oh
closing?
yeah, like I said, if you believe in nationhood, can you put the link to the BA group?
I will right now. Mm-hmm.
If you believe in nationhood, the long struggle of nationhood, there's things going on right now. Right now, as far as like nature, we are making progress. That's all I can say at the present time. This idea of nationhood or us having land and everything is going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than you think. So just keeping that on the lid and everything like that. But the whole thing is, if you want to be part of the nation building process and everything, hey, there's a home for you with our social network, the Black African Infrastructure Organization, and everything like that. We're a loose affiliate. We're not necessarily an organization. We're like a society of people who are nationalists, who have different views and opinions and everything. But we just come together and share notes. And I've been putting together a lot of people the last 15 days. A lot of people that's joined, incubating a lot of people that's doing a lot of things and everything on the continent. There's not a lot of things right here. Things are starting to look up. And so, but if you want to be part of the nation building process and everything, and also what's beauty about the nation building process, you don't have to really change anything you do with your life and everything. You go to work, you do what you want to do and everything. But there's a network of people that share views like you want to believe. So therefore, you don't have to sit here and take this crap. There's a future for you, whether you just want to go to the continent or a future nation, whatever like that, connections, do business and everything like that. There's a normalcy in trying to escape from the reality of America. You know what I'm saying? You're in good hands.
Cool. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, share, and subscribe. Everyone who super chatted, thank you so much for super chatting. Until next time, family. Oh, also too, guys, I have an announcement. The Unity Building Bridges tour has been, the dates have been pushed back. So right now it's looking like October, but the thing is, I'm gonna be in Senegal for like half of October, so I'll only be at a couple of the dates. And I know Phil.
We're gonna be in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's still gonna be in Los Angeles, but it's I think it's like maybe the first week of Los Angeles. I think I will be in LA and maybe this DC date. I don't know, but yeah, it's been postponed till October.
Okay.
Hopefully per the promoter,
Right.
the person who's having. So per the promoter, I just know I was out. I know me myself, I was assisting and promoting it because I was on it, and the people who were the guest speakers were promoting it, but it's been postponed. So
Well,
I just wanted to make sure I put that out there.
I want to say one last thing.
Go ahead, go
Remember
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
we invited our friend over, the Israelite, on to say about his book about Columbus and everything. Remember last
Yeah,
Friday?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I never got any response back from him positive way.
I got one, but the information
Here,
was so.
he sent me his coloring book.
Let me read what he sent me. Hold on, let me read it. Then we'll close. Then we'll
He
close out.
sent me his coloring book. He sent me his
It was so vague. It was like, come on, man. I can't believe people are trying to. Hold on. Let me try to find
And
it.
also, let me say something, folks. Right, this is a real problem in our community. Right, just because you got a degree in sociology does not make you an anthropologist or authority on history or anthropology or the study of man, everything like that. You have a degree in sociology. You stick with sociology. Black people have too many people that cross over into different fields. They'll
Mhm.
get they'll become a dentist, right? Right. Yet there's authority on heart surgery. Well, I'm a dentist, but yeah, okay, you qualified to talk on that, and you qualified to speak on that, right? You're not qualified to speak on open heart surgery just because you're a dentist. In our community, we don't respect boundaries of peer review and rules and stuff like that. So anybody could basically get a degree and start thinking they're a historian or something like that, and they're putting out misinformation and facts. And the information that Black people or indigenous to America or Native American or that you're Moors and you're Hebrew is a lie. You know, your ancestors came via the transatlantic slave trade. That's it. That's period. Now you want to get out of this, then you have to reverse this thing. The only way you can reverse this is through the idea of nationhood. Nation on the continent of your ancestors, right? Doesn't mean everybody have to go, but that's going to reverse the process. That's what's going to give you geopolitical power. But trying to say you were already here in America is an attempt to escape from the reality of what your ancestors did. You'll never be blessed if you turn your back on your ancestors. Your ancestors were on the bottom of slave ships and everything, and their lives must be one day avenged.
Mhm. Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, family. Peace.